All right, so we're back again today, this time with some mill. It's a bit different than last time we played mill. Last time we had Maddening Cacophony, and we didn't have access to these wonderful cards known as Counterspell and Fractured Sanity. So what we've got going on instead is a much more controlling style mill list, and we've got 8 effective counterspells and 6 effective creature destruction. And then we have only 8 mill spells in the deck between Archive Trap and Fractured Sanity, but each of these mill spells is for 14. So that'll be enough. 8 times 14 is greater than 60. And to help us with the mill, just in incremental, we have the 8 crabs and 22 lands. That'll hopefully get us enough that we'll be able to close out the game by either casting some Fractured Sanities because we no longer need them, or cycling the Fractured Sanities, or hardcasting Archive Trap. Miss Maricorp will help us get there as well. It's still just your standard kind of mill list for the main board. In the sideboard, what we've got going on is we moved 2 of the pushes to the sideboard instead of the main board to make room for the counter spells. Then we have another Crypt Incursion. Not that we necessarily need 3, but I'd rather have 3 and not need 3 than need 3 and not have 3. We've got an Engineered Explosives to either hit 0 or 1, because there's lots of lists that are running a bunch of 1 drops and 0 drops right now. So EE on those low values is going to be nice for us to have a board wipe early. Then we also have a Damnation for the later game board wipe, in case we need it. We're packing 2 Sedadrifts because Chalice of the Void on 1 still hurts this deck as we're running 17 1 drops. And then Blood Moon is Blood Moon. But we've got one more basic to try to help out with that. We've got Aether Gusts for the red and green permanents. There's not too many red and green permanents running around that I'm worried of trying to gust, but it does occasionally happen. Then we've got the Profane Mementos, so that way if they're a more creature-based list, we can gain a bit of life as we start to mill them out early, trying to just sustain to the point where we can then live. And then we have 2 Soul Guide Lanterns because, you know, the second you don't pack Massive Grave Exile 8, you're gonna need it. So always be packing it. Other than that, that's the mill list, and we'll see you guys in some leagues. And let's see what we can do here. All right, we've got a match here. We won the die roll. We would love to take the play. Let's reveal this Luris here. And we've got a hand that does not much. We will mulligan to 6. We can keep this. Bottom. We'll bottom the Drown. That feels wrong. Gemstone Cavern. Exile's Breeding Pool. Okay, so this is one of those fast decks. That's not bad. Yeah, I don't know how many I'm missing. And so is this going to be the Cascade deck, or is this going to be... Fun. Wasn't expecting to have 29 cards. Fair. They fetched. I should have cast Archive Trap. I'm being stupid. That's fine. Well, you won't get punished here. They'll play another fetch land. See? Okay. Dark Slick Shores. Pass the turn. So they went fetching. We're gonna go ahead and archive trap them. Did we hit any of the 0 drops? No. Okay. So they go ahead and mill here. Aether grids in the sideboard. That's always a not terrible idea. Luris into hand. They can Violent Outburst if that's what they're trying to do. Yeah, Aether Grid is a nice one. So they're going to Cascade here. Make some Marinos. Yep, crashing. I made some Rhinos. Let's go ahead and surgical so they can't make more Rhinos. Interesting. So what does their deck have now that they only have Rhinos? Subtlety, Borrower, and Agent? Okay. But now they've got nothing that they can cascade into. And we can push one of these Rhinos. Yep. We take 8. Down to 10 we go. Black land off the top. Tap target permanent. Push one of your Rhinos. All right. And we'll pass the turn here. Yeah, that's how I am too, is I try to not swap cards if I can avoid. So now that they have an Ardent Plea in hand, let's go ahead and try to Visions Borrower here. All right. And so they did have a Borrower in hand. Then we draw a Drown in the Lock. So we can either play Luris, block, and be in the same scenario, or we could drown the Borrower and cycle of Visions. Feels so bad to cycle Visions when they're this close. More Street Wraiths. Yep. So they chose not to do anything there. Let's see if they've got the counterspell. And say they would have had to draw it. So we're now at 2. Oh, that's right. That can just target face. I forgot fire can target face. Neat. Okay, facing the Cascade deck. EE's fine. Pushes we want. Orbs are fine. Surgicals are great. Crabs are good. Counter spells are... Man, we're going to be playing pretty reactive here, so I don't think I want the Fractured Sanity. And they don't actually have a lot of creatures from their board, or from their main board, in terms of what we can hit with Crypt Incursion. They have, well, that's not true. They have Shardless, Borrower, and Subtlety, so they have 11. This is where I kind of wish instead of packing 2 Set Adrifts, we were packing 1 Set Adrift, 1 Echoing Truth, because I would bring in the Echoing Truth here. We'll shave a bit on Counter Magic. And try it like so. I'd love to play first. Reveal the Luris. Not that it'll matter too much. So we've got... have to mulligan that. No lands. Down to 5. God, this sucks, but welcome to life. We're keeping 5, so I have to put 2 on bottom. It's gotta be... Counterspell, Field of Ruin. Counterspell, Swamp. What's up, Evan? How you doing today? Facing the nice Cascade deck right off the bat. On the bright side, they didn't have any fun turn 1 plays. So they fetched... Triome. Cast for nothing. There's a Footfalls. Surgical to Footfalls. Make our lives a bit easier. So their hand is Agent, Outburst, and then Teferi. As far as what they have to win with now, looks like it's just going to be Borrower and Agent beats. Cool. And step will go and get this Watery Grave. Tapped. I mean, the problem is we have nothing going for us now. Agent Crab, Delta. Target them. Go ahead and just put an island into play. Target them. Save targets, always yield. Oh, they have endurances. That's fun. Engineered explosives. Kind of terrible at this point. Go ahead and make them pick a color. We like our blue. And we will pass the turn. So need to remember about that endurance. Teferi? Sure. You gonna bounce my crab? They bounce the crab for the draw value. All right, let's see what we can do here. A fatal push, huh? I have no reason to play out the crab. I can't get EE to 3. They play out the Shardless Agent. They cascade into nothing. So there is 2 more endurance that we need to worry about, unless they have a 4th in hand. Grab. Land for turn. There goes 1 endurance. Alright, they uptick to Fairy. And they play out an Ardent Plea. Sounds good. They reveal some cards. I could block if I wanted to here. Block, and then we get to get rid of the Shardless Agent. Yeah, it's... Oh, I can't. Teferi. Damn it. Forgot about that. Forgot that card has relevant lines of text on it. Yeah, Endurance is a fun one. So we'll have Luris into Crab. And we have an infinite Crab blocker. Every land we draw. Right? Pay no attention to the lines of text on this card. That part doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll take 3, because I can't actually get past Teferi. Because I forgot Teferi stops. We built KCI. Was so good in Legacy. Endurance was? In Legacy. Really? Because I know Mill's not really a thing in Legacy. But there are lots of self-mill decks. Upkeep. What are we doing on my upkeep opponent? We got to pause here for something. Tap target permanent and draw a card. Yeah. And I can't do anything. We hit Visions? Okay, well, I guess we'll Visions of Beyond. We'll draw 3, ideally. You're gonna force it? Okay, opponent. Main decking them in bat. Nice. Ba-da-da-da-da. You hold back. That's true. There's lots of graveyard decks that exist. And yeah, it definitely hoses the Delver strategy. Can't host Casey. Yes, because that's what we need to be worried about. But Stony Silence. Yeah. So we're taking 5 a turn until they can deal with the Lurrus. Hmm. Lurrus, baby. Does it resolve? Do we get this crab from the yard? We do. Nice. That's a good question. I'd assume that the conversation's still in Legacy. Like, until this thing can gain trample, you just have an infinite blocker. That is true on that. Petty theft. Okay. Do we have Counterspell now? No, we can't run Counterspell, or else we'd have a chance to hit it with the visions. So we milled them. They now have less cards in their deck. We sadly cannot push. Sure, they go up with the fairy. They realize that they really can't be swinging with their Shardless Agent. Crab. Field of Ruin. Mill opponent for a good amount. And try to knock him off of white. And casts Brazen Borrower. Sure. Exactly what we wanted them to do. Because we had a permanent leave the battlefield. Cast a Revolted Fatal Push. Sure, you can Force of Negation that. Visions of Beyond. I draw 3. Neat. Opponent's now dead next turn. We no longer care about the Lurrus. Have the Lurrus attack the Teferi. See if they want to trade their Shardless Agent. They do. We'll still gain the life. That's fine. We got a 12, so we're not dead. We now go. They bounce one of these. We recast it. We play out the Field of Ruin. We field them. And we've got game 2 here. Sure, they bounce the Ruin Crab. Down to 8 cards in their deck. Okay. We take 5, go down to 7. Here's hoping that they do not have endurance in hand. Problem is, they've shown us 2, and we know that there was 3, at least. Ruin Crab. Land for the turn. Opponent doesn't want to play that game. Okay. So we'd mill them 6, we'd then field them, and they would have no cards left, at which point we could then push the borrower and still have Fractured if they tried to start with a endurance there. Endurance, huh? Damn. I want to bring in the Soul Guide Lanterns. We can take out the Engineered Explosives. Do that and cut. We'll cut a push again. Push doesn't hit a lot of their things unless we turn on Revolt, and with Teferi, Revolt's not going to be easy for us to turn on unless we have Field of Ruin. Opponent did the classic strat of throw in all the cards of your sideboard. Okay. Okay, opponent. Tell me more. Leyline of Sanctity, huh? Okay, well. Happens to hurt this hand quite a bit. But that's fine. Watery Grave, I guess? I doubt they're playing Blood Moon. Ruin Crab. And then Swamp. Yield to that. Opponent goes fetching. Void it all in and still had the... Yeah, kept 7 and had a Leyline. Gotta love it. And they missed a land drop. Mill them for 3. There goes an Endurance. That's pretty good. I like holding up Counterspell here. Wait, there's nothing that they have on 2. Don't hold up Counterspell. We know that they don't have anything on 2. Force it. Ah. I'm betting you that they have the Endurance in hand. You wouldn't keep a 1-lander against Mill with a Leyline. Only Leyline. We'll mill ourselves 2. You're gonna ice. I mean, the key is it's untapped. I'm gonna cycle a Visions of Beyond. It's gonna take me a while if I don't hit a land drop. We now mill 2. We mill over Crab and Crab. Both of those mills are fine because we can't actually use Hedron Crab in this scenario. Play out this, mill them 3. And pass the turn because we don't have double blue. Build over Crashing Footfalls and an Ice. Don't have the Surgical Extraction, sadly. Evoked Foundation Breaker. Okay. So Evoke happens, and then they're going to destroy the orb. Sure. So I need a fetch land to turn on this Visions to be a draw 3. There's enough potential that we're going to hold it. Okay, second Ruin Crab's not bad. I want to hold up Counter Magic, though. So that's what we're going to do. Opponent's got a discard. They discarded a Leyline of Sanctity. Actually, we just hold. Because we're at 7. Blue, red, you're going to Petty Theft the Crab. Counterspell. Yes, the Petty Theft could have been a bait, but we knew that they had to hit their land to be able to do whatever they're trying here. Oh, would you look at that? How sad. Ruin Crab. Polluted Delta. Mill use 6, opponent. How about we do that some more? Get an island. There's an Endurance and a Crashing Footfall, so we now need to find answers. Luckily, we get to draw 3. Endurance is what they're trying to cast. I would like to draw 3. Of course. Invoke, and then they're going to shuffle away. And now we only get to draw 1. And that's not a bad one. Opponent's now down to 3 cards in hand. Okay, and then they hit their 3rd land, so now we get the Cascade into the Crashing Footfalls. Gotta love it. Get rid of one of those rhinos. Hey, what comes one turn too late, as always? Redraw. That's not a bad one to redraw. But it now means that we can't put Luris into hand. Swing was just the rhino. We'll take 4 once. Cascades into the rhinos. Encounter the footfalls. They get a shardless agent. Fractured Sanity, huh? Okay, we've got enough for it, and we don't have anything else to do. Black, black, blue. And cast for blue, blue, blue. Opponent mills 14. And now we'll be able to have a infinite blocking crab. Although the rhino does have trample. So we kind of need an answer to that pretty quick. We could also Soul Guide Lantern to try to draw out here. I like that they shocked. We'll take 4 again. We have an orb in the yard, don't we? Luris. Mesmeric orb from the graveyard. You're going to go ahead and dead it? Sure. Then we'll play out Obero. Milia 6. Play out a crab so that way we can block some damage. Opponent mills 2. That comes in. We're blocking with crab. Yep. Just 1 crab for now. We mill ourselves 6 here. We will bounce the Obero using the Obero. Play Obero, mill them for 6. Brr. And they swing everything. We block the agents and take 4. If they swing just the rhino, I think we still just take 4. To try to get as much out of these ruin crabs as possible. I should have brought in the Sedagis when we saw the ley lines. This is me choosing to play hard mode. Field of Ruin. Okay. Just get rid of their Triome. So we see 1 endurance in the yard, 2 endurances in the yard. And problem is, because we don't have another blocker, we are dead on board. Dang. There's the last endurance, so they no longer have endurance as an out. But we're at 4. Crypt incursions. Why are you all in our board? Because I'm stupid. Profane mementos. Why are you in our board? 1, 2. Yeah, I should have brought in Profane Mementos or Crypt Incursions. We saw enough. Just poor boarding here is what's going to cost us. Opponent's having fun because they swing out here. Wait. We're not dead, are we? Because if I block and block, I take 3. And then they mill 3 here. Or they just have Violent Outburst. Down to -1. Dang. We had an out there. They tapped that. If they didn't have the Violent Outburst, we then would have had our crab. It would have drawn... Moto doesn't want to show us. How fun. Opponent revealed that they had 2 Violent Outbursts. And a Dead and Gone and a Fire and Ice. Okay, so they had a Fire, which can target our face. Alright. Let's hope for a better one for round 2. I would love to play first. Reveal the Luris. I feel that's an accurate answer. People aren't respecting it enough, and it's definitely a good one. Mulligan the 1-lander. Keep this bottom grave. I don't like that we're facing a Luris deck. Makes me want to hold the crab, but at the same time, makes me want to play the crab because you either try to dodge Bolt or Thoughtseize. I'm feeling trying to dodge Thoughtseize. Because Thoughtseize, they just, if we already have the crab out, they then take the drown and we have another drown. We'll see if this will work. Dark Slick, play out the crab, pass the turn. Alright. Let's see what our Luris variant is across the table. Canopy. Okay. Sentinel. Ornithopter. Ouch. So, like, we have to just play second crab here, right? I doubt that they have a way to make us not be able to kill their Ornithopter or whatever next turn. So we're looking at a white affinity deck. Okay. The problem is if you're running Luris, that means you can't run Thought Monitor. There's the Saga. That's fine. You only destroy target creature with Drown in the Lock. But I have a feeling they're not going to get too much out. Sure, you can play a Stoneforge Mystic. What are we going to go get? Probably Complete. Since the Spear's already out here. Oh, this is just a hammer deck. Okay. Well, they don't have a way to equip hammer. And we've got way too many answers to hammer. Counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. Is this what it feels like to play a control deck? There's an Inkmoth Nexus. Two mana. They're going to make a token? Sure. Have yourself a 3/3. I'm okay with just... They can have a 3/3. This, mill them for a bit. This, mill them for a bit more. Need another black so we can have a double. And now we've got double counter magic up. It's got 26 left in deck. Not much we're afraid of at this point. Is there anything for them to left to go get? Looks like we hit a needle. We hit hammers. Okay, well. Not enough hammers were hit. So if they try to play out a pure steel, we counter that. There's a saga. Sounds good. You know, one card in their hand is the Colossus Hammer. So how many creatures are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can play your drum. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's enough creatures for a profane memento here. Here's Steel Paladin. How about no? Pay 1 to prevent them from drawing. Yeah, because they don't have any more way to make colored mana. Ornithopter, sure. Gonna smack me with a big old 6/6. Yeah, we'll take the hug. It's a nice hug. Down to 13 we go. Land mill opponent for a bit. So we'll have double drowns still. Opponent, sure enough, can make a construct. They've got a hammer in hand. And one other card. This was like one of Mill's most interesting starts of just having a bunch of counter magic. Making a construct. Making a construct. Sure, you have a 7/7. We doing anything with that 7/7? No. Just gonna swing for the hills with that one. Go ahead and drown that one. And we've got it drowned in hand, so we should be good to go here. Unless I can do something real spooky. Steel Shaper's Gift. Sure, go put the other hammer into your hand. I don't care. You have to reveal it. If it's something spooky. They failed to find an equipment. Nice. Archive trap, huh? Sweet. We've got just enough. We tap the Obero, play the Obero. There's our land for the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Archive trap you. Yeah, opponent, you can draw a card. Now mill 10 or mill 13. Good luck, have fun. So Sunbaked Canyon is a redraw. And then other than that, it's just mono white hammer. Right? Not seeing anything that could be coming from hammer. Okay. Let's begin the sideboard here. They've got a good amount of cards. I kind of like Profane Mementos and Set Adrifts here, because they can definitely be packing Leyline of Sanctity, even though they are a Luris build. That does not mean that they do not have Luris in the sideboard. Crypt Incursion is fine because they have a good amount of creatures. Mesmeric Orb is meh. They typically don't go super wide, but they can. We're going to keep in some number of surgicals here and push hits everything in their main deck because Luris. So we need 2 more out. It's probably Orb. Those 5 out, these 5 in. Yeah, that looks right. This will be interesting. If they reveal the Luris, we can be safe to assume that they do not have Leyline of Sanctity. So if we lose... Oh, wait. Engineered Explosives. Go to the other orb. Did I do that quick enough? Sweet. EE on 1 seems pretty good in a deck that's trying to do a bunch of hammer stuff. We'll reveal our lures. They revealed the lures. That's pretty good for us. All right. A strange but keepable hand. Ink Moth. Plus an Ornithopter. And a Memnite. Push, huh? I kind of like that one. We'll go ahead and fetch and shock here. So I don't actually want to play the crab here. Because if they have turn 2 Sigarda's 8 into Hammer, we then don't have a great answer. However, this way we can push whatever the hammer is going to be going to, and then have an EE on 1. They go for the animation. And they turn sideways. No blocks, but we are going to push. They lose their Ink Moth. We take 1, go down to 16. Instep happens. Go ahead and play out the Ruin Crab and then Field of Ruin. Each opponent mills 3. We hit a good amount of land. We'll go ahead and just pass the turn here. Because I like the idea of being able to go EE on 1. And there's the second plains. Pure Steel Paladin. Sure. We can drown in the lock that next. No, we can't. Forgot how Field of Ruin works. They need to have a non-basic for us to target. There we go. That. Now we can drown the Pure Steel Paladin or counter whatever they try to play. Nothing scary has hit their yard. Makes me sad. There's a plains. They put Luris into hand. Take 1. Fractured Sanity, huh? You that. I like having up. Oh, hey, hammer. Cool. Get rid of hammer. And now their deck is just... Thanks, Windows Virus Protection. That's good to know. All right. And then we have... Anything interesting now? No. Cool. I could EE on 0. Ink Moth Nexus. They found their kill condition. If we didn't have Outfield of Ruin. It's a nice Luris. However, I would like to blow up everything on 2 or on 0. And then I would like to drown in the lock your Luris. Oh, they didn't want to swing. Tap Obero to bounce it. Replay. Opponent mills 3. Go ahead and hit there. Then we'll get ourselves a blue land. I should have kept up blue to hold up counter magic. And that is me getting greedy. I guess we could still cycle the Fractured Sanity. But I don't feel that we need to cycle at this point. I feel we're probably safe to just play land, mill them 3, and then mill them 14. And they have 13 cards left in the deck. I forgot to see if they had any shuffle effects when we were getting rid of the hammers. I mean, they can't, because that would be a... I guess it could have thrown in, like, Gaia's Cradle? Or Gaia's whatever. I doubt that they would. Sure, play out your Stoneforge. Pretty sure there's no equipment left in your deck to search for. Aw, you don't want to swing with your Pure Steel Paladin opponent? Why not? Okay. Clear land, mill them 3, tell them no. Forget what this Invec does. I want to say it's a graveyard card. It's a graveyard card, but it doesn't do anything against... Doesn't stop us from milling them. They play a basic Plains. They go a swinging. Block 2. Take 1. You know that their hand's Sigarda's Aid, and something? Profane Memento. Sure. I doubt that there's many creatures left in their deck. We still hit one. Alright. Pass the turn, keeping up counter magic. So they're at 4. We mill them for 3 next turn. I don't even care. And then they concede. Cool. So, okay, we'd draw the island. We'd play the island. They'd have 1 card left. Actually, we'd probably bounce the Obero, replay the Obero, hold up the island, make them think that we've got counter magic. Anyway. The solid 2-0 win there against Hammer Time. Let's see how Mill can continue. You won the die roll. We will gladly take the play here. Reveal this Luris. And looks pretty great. I just like seeing a monkey as the icon. And a Luris. That makes me think that we're facing a Luris monkey deck. I don't want to face monkey. But we've got the push for it. Okay, blue-red. Man, they always have the bolt. It's almost like the fact that we had 2 crabs there made us play out the first one. So that way when we get to do this... Well, yes, it's not as effective. Let's go ahead and get ourselves an island. Okay. So they are that just blue-red Dragon Rage Channeler deck. Meaning they probably do have monkey. They visions, sure. They put 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and then they cast monkey. Sounds good. They have monkey. Watery Grave, shock it in. They mill 3. They have force. We'll just hold up counterspell plus push here. Expressive iteration, that's fine. As long as they don't try to do the glitch here to restart the game. Or bug, technically. Okay, so they exile the Dragon Rage Channeler. They just move to end step. Go ahead and cycle the Fractured Sanity. Nice. Play that, mill some cards, do this. Play out Swamp. They did Luris. What's their win con? If we take away Channeler. I don't know, but I see 2 Channelers in there and 1 in exile, so they only have... Like... They don't have much. I don't really see anything we want to take away. Polluted Delta. Unholy Heat. Well, that's... Delirium's definitely active. So we lose our crab. Push your Ragavan. Counterspell your heat. Fetch, shock, counterspell my counterspell. Yeah. All right. Luris into hand. Play that out. And pass the turn on their draw step. We can Unholy Heat. I like Bolt. They've got more bolts than they do Unholy Heats. Is my guess. Interesting. So the hand is just Archmage. Okay, well, we're not casting Luris into any of that. Get rid of that card, get rid of that card, get rid of that card. However, okay, they've got 2 islands still. Unfortunate. 2 islands, 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler. So just take them off of red. Sure. Keep, we draw. Black, black 1, Luris. They then Archmage's Charm, we counterspell. They then enforce. Go ahead and do this. This way we have counterspell up. So I don't get how they cast the Luris. Oh, they have a hollow. They have 2 hollowed fountains that we've milled out. Okay, that's how they would cast it. Sure, you can draw 2. Bobble? Yeah, you can bobble. Bobbles me, sees what I'm drawing. The other hand is Archmage's Charm, Expressive Iteration, which they can't cast, which means it's just Force of Negation fodder. Let's draw. We draw an Archive Trap. Okay, I mean, interesting. So they have no more fetchables. But these are instant speed stuff, so we can do this on their turn. We're 1 mana shy of being able to do Archive Trap with Counter Magic backup. We have no reason to cast Luris because we don't have any way to capitalize off of bringing back a crab. That's a nice Spire Bluff Canal. Upkeep, we draw a Field of Ruin. Pretty good, makes us that way we can cast for free. So we now have free cast with backup. And we can do that on their upkeep, get rid of their red source. Snap, sure. What are we snapping? Bolt. Snaps ice and fire. So I already see what their plan here is. They don't have the mana, right? Go ahead and Field of Ruin. Their upkeep. We'll get ourselves a swamp. They draw, and now they're in main phase. They have Snapcaster and 3 islands to work with. Bobble happens. Make them mill 13. Counter target spell. Opponent concedes. All right. So we would have drawn Crab. Neat. We would have then tried to resolve Luris and play a Crab from the yard, then play another Crab. So we're facing blue-red Delverless Delver, but it's got Luris, so it's missing the Murktide Regent, which is one of the greatest cards for the deck. I don't even know what we want. Obviously push. Push isn't bad. Gust doesn't seem awful. They've got a good amount of red permanents and green permanents. We've got a good amount of basics, so I'm not too worried about Blood Moon from them. They've got 3 islands, so they could definitely bring in Blood Moon here. There's not much to really have to worry about surgical extraction. Want to keep in 2 because every time that you board out surgical extraction, you know that they're going to be bringing in some form of grave shuffle. So we saw what? Ragavan, Dragon Rage Channeler, Snapcaster Mage. I think that was it for their threats. So max 12. Not really worth Crypt Incursion. That, and then I guess Shaven Orb. So the interesting debate here is, do we want the Soul Guide Lantern? Or the Engineered Explosives, I mean. Because they've got enough 1-drops. They've got 8. No, I like just push and gust. Trying to like so. See what trouble we can find ourselves in here. All right. Reveal Luris. They reveal a Luris. Nice. We've got a Mesmeric Orb and a Crab. Let's go. Sneap it off. Now we don't need that stuff. That's a Channeler. That's a fun card for them to have that early. Push? It's not a push. Crab. And they bolt our Crab. Sadness. I don't get what? Prismatic ending? I mean, I guess this is the Jeskai variant. Prismatic isn't unheard of from that. Yeah, we'll take some damage. Do I need to play that? No. this. Let's get out this Mesmeric Orb while we can. Yes, I know Mesmeric Orb has a chance to flip for Delirium, but we're mill anyway. We're not worried about Delirium. We're going to be activating that at any point. So land's what they want. Visions, they get to draw and then scry. One on bottom, one on top. Interesting. There's their fetch land to turn on Delirium. They now have themselves a 3/3. And they shocked it in. Nice. Smacking us for 3. Yep. We mill 2. Not a bad 2 to mill. And then we've got some fetch lands. We'll do this. I want to stop in there. Yeah, we'll wait. Do this. They mill 2. So we can do it in the beginning of combat. Or after they've attacked. Aether Gust. Counter spells the Aether Gust. Alright. Sounds good. We take 3, go down to 13. Push. We milled over a push. That's unfortunate. Okay. So this would allow us to cut them off. Not quite. Delta. Use Delta to get ourselves an island. Okay, they shocked in the steam vents. 1, 2, Sprite Dragon. Scott Haste, I don't like that. So interesting that they have Sprite Dragon. So we're taking 5 here. We boarded out both Crypt Incursions and Profane Mementos. We will be changing that post board. Okay. We're taking a good chunk of damage here. Down to 7. Let's go ahead and hit their Spire Bluff. Just that we have Fractured Sanity, but again, we don't have any way to gain life off of this. So we're really just delaying. This is mill 26? Darn. If they didn't have the bolt for the crab, we'd be in a pretty good position here. Each opponent mills 14. Target opponent mills 13. Just give us as much info as possible here. So we see Dragon Rage, we see Ragavans. And we're probably dead. I'm assuming they have a spell here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Archmage's Charm. They draw some, so we are dead as soon as they attack. Alright, down to exactly 0. They had 4 cards in hand. We do not know what those 4 cards were. Did not see anything to really stop Mill, though. So we just have to hope. The question is, do we go Profane Memento to try to gain enough, or do we go Crypt Incursion? I like the idea of 1 Crypt, 2 Profane. Get rid of the Aether Gust. No, all of their threats are red. Aether Gust is fine. It stalls. Push is fine. Extraction can go. We didn't see anything that requires extraction. We will be very sad, however, when that becomes not the case. Get rid of a counterspell. No. Yeah, get rid of a counterspell. I want to bring in at least 1 surgical. Sorry, we have it. Because I know the second you board them all out, we'll be caught with our pants down and they'll have some shuffle effect. We didn't see all of the cards in their deck. Alright. There we go. Reveals Luris. They reveal Luris. We've got Double Crab, a all blue hand. Only 1 land. I cannot keep. A hand that has so much potential. Well, we'll try it. Bottom the Delta here. I'll lead off with Swamp. Flooded Strand is what they use. That's pretty good for us. It means this Archive Trap will be live whenever they fetch. They fetch now, and they shock in. Play out a Dark Slick. Show me force, opponent. No force, huh? Any neat card? Yeah, Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, actually, let's wait. Because we can do that here. Their draw step. Dragon Rage Channeler. So their hand is aggressive as heck. Bolt, Counterspell, Archmage's Charm, and double Sprite Dragon. But as far as threats are concerned now, Sprite Dragon. Yeah, Sprite Dragon, 1 of Snap, and 3 Monkey. Yeah, play out your Sprite Dragon. That's a beautiful card to see. Island for now. Pass the turn. We don't really have any mill going on for us right now, but that's okay. They play out a Sprite Dragon. Nice. They swing for 2. I'm assuming they're going to try to bolt here. It's a nice bolt. And drown a Sprite Dragon. Now what we want off the top here is Surgical. So that way we can go Surgical or Aether Gust the Sprite Dragon and then Surgical Sprite Dragon. But we only have one Surgical in the deck now that I'm thinking about it, because we did that, didn't we? Okay. So we can Field and Gust. I don't like that they're going to be able to hold up. We know they have Bolts and Archmage's Charm here. So even us trying to get rid of it is not going to work out in our favor here. Because they do this. And they have a counter magic. So we just have to take 3 here. Down to 8. Go ahead and instep that. Just knock them off of having red here. Snap. We're going to go for the snap bolt play. Sure. Yeah. We go to 5. They lose this. Doesn't buy us anything here, though. Yeah. Profane Memento. Damn. So we Profane Memento and then we... Aether... Oh, do it. Force it. Force it. Dang it. Aether Gust the Sprite Dragon. That means that they're... Considering how they stalled, that means that they have force. Alright, they put it on top. We don't have any way to mill. We're at 5. This puts us down to... Because they now can go Sprite Dragon. They only have 2 mana. So we need something big here. Problem is our biggest thing, they can stop. Try to cycle to an answer. Yeah. And there we go. Not going to be able to beat Blue-Red Monkey. Counterspell wouldn't have done us anything. All right. Just kept a questionable hand there, and guess what? Questionable hand wasn't good enough. All right, facing Yao. Luris, reveal. Nope. Because this we just go We're not doing anything. All right. We're going to mulligan this. It's tempting, but we have to mulligan down to 5. Gotta live mill when this happens. Down to 4. Gotta keep. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Gives us a bit of reactionary stuff in an archive trap if they play a fetch land. How did I know? It's almost like everybody plays fetch lands. Martyr Grave, Shocked In. Let's see that Thoughtseize. Oh, Street Wraith. Okay. Asmo. Sure. So we're facing Urza's Kitchen. Yep, Urza's Kitchen. This, we'll go ahead and shock in here. Push the Asmo. There's the Saga. Sounds good. Place the cookbook, and then they're gonna do Daredevil, and then they'll have Daredevil permanently at this point of a nice card to discard. Yep. Discard, make a food, put the Daredevil back. Always yield to that trigger. Gonna save me some time there. And then an Emery. Alright. Street Wraith, Asmo, Metallic Rebuke. Mesmeric Orb. Pass turn. So that's half their deck in the graveyard. Problem is, at this point, we now need to draw things. Need to stop drawing land. Ideally, Visions of Beyond is our best draw, so that we get to draw 3. There's a Saga. Yeah. Upper doesn't want to be picked up. Sadness. We mill some cards. And one of those cards was a Ruin Crab, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up our Luris here. There's nothing nasty about it. I'm just making opponent have to play hard mode. They're gonna make themselves a construct here. And get themselves a 3/3, and then they can, yeah, make a food token. And we're not dead yet. Needle was hit. That's nice. Needle and Shadow Spear, actually. Oh, yeah. Double Saga is always going to be terrible. But, you know, they've still got 2 more in the deck, too. That'll be fun to deal with. So what am I really missing from this deck? I don't have Street Race. I don't have Urza's. I have cookbooks. I have fetch lands. I have Steam Vents. I have Dark Slick Shores. I have Thought Monitors. I have Emeries. Have Needle, have Shadow Spear. So far, I've got every card that's out there other than the Urza. I might have to build this deck in paper. So they got another cookbook. And they can grow their construct. Yeah, get your Shadow Spear. That, and then they equip, and then they can grow the construct and gain some life. Or they could make another construct. Instead, they're gonna equip, have themselves a 9/9 with trample. And this mills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll take 9. An Asmo. Fun. Let's see, did they get? They did not find an Underworld cookbook with the Asmo. They smack us for 9. We go to 9. This, we mill some cards, and then a Fractured Sanity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 14 is 21. Damn. Well, first, undo. Let's go ahead and get ourselves the land. Black this. Luris. Because this is a scenario of we have to go all in on a blocker for a turn. We get to block 5 points of damage. I'm pretty sure they can make more artifacts than that. Because they're at... Because this, they make a construct. Well, if they make a construct and they go get some 1-drop, they can't have mana to do anything. But they are able to get a cookbook here. Goes it to 10, and then they can grow it to 13. They can grow it to 14. Which means 9 will get through, but we gain 3. So we'll, if they don't have a removal spell, we'll get there. Oh, spell bomb. They spell bomb our Luris, and we lose. Make sure that they target the Luris. Fourteen. They cycle their Street Wraith, sure. There's a land for the turn. Yeah, there's the spell bomb on the Luris. So we can block 3 of it. Ah. It's funny, even with Luris, we'd still be at exactly 0. Okay. So facing Asmo Food. Profane Memento seems like a fun strategy because they are constantly putting that Daredevil into the yard, so it costs them. We gain some life every time they do that. Engineered on explosives because they make lots of food. That's a 0 mana thing. Damnation's kind of meh. They don't really run a lot of creatures. So we'll just keep in one Crypt Incursion. Soul Guide Lantern's interesting as mass removal. This is black or this is red or green. Only red permanent they have is Asmo. Really don't feel that's worth it. Set Adrift, maybe? I can't think of any permanent that they have. We would want to bounce. Maybe Chalice on one. Anyway, we've got 3 cards to cut. They do a good amount of searching, so probably shave on sanity. They don't cast a whole lot. I could see shaving on the counter magic here. Yeah. I would love to take the play. Reveal the Luris. We've got push for a token. We've got the drown in the lock. We've got an archive trap. We've got a crab. We've got a good amount of things here. Let us see what we can do. Odds are we're going to find ourselves in trouble and not be able to do anything. But you never know. Okie doke. We'll go Dark Slick Shores into Crab. Okay. Water Grave. Shocked in. Cookbook. Okay. Engineered Explosives is a nice one. Dark Slick. Go ahead and mill them, saving targets. Always shield. Dot Monitor. Engineered Explosives. That's an interesting card to bring in, opponent. They discard and make a food. Yep. And then they get to put a Oval Chase back into hand. And they've discarded, so they're probably going to attempt to cast Asmo. Sure. Asmo's good. World Cookbook, Polluted Delta. That's a nice one. They go searching. And they shocked in. Plays out Emery. We'll go ahead and counter that Emery. And then we'll cast for 0. This, they mill. This will get an island. If we EE on 0, they'll have 2 cookbooks. So let's push the Asmo. And pass. We've done a hefty amount of damage there. I need to capitalize on the damage that we've done. Hopefully they play like Urza's Saga so we can field it. Best part is we're still representing John in the lock mana here. So one can't guess what we've got in hand. Come on, we got this. Oh, they lost connection. They rejoined though, so we're good. Opponent, I would like to play the game. I'm sure you would too. They've got 6 cards, so they've got a decision to make. Okay. There's a Saga comes in. That's fine by us. 1 mana cookbook. Sounds good. Then you get to put 2 Daredevils into hand. Then you get to discard a Daredevil and make a food token. And you get to do that again. They've got 3 food tokens. Field of Ruin, mill them 3. Go ahead and get rid of that card. While it's a problem. Get ourselves an island. It's 1 Saga, 2 Saga. 2 Sagas in the bin. Okay. We could EE on 0 here. I don't like that though. And we'll just hold. If they play an Emery, we do EE on 0, so that way they can't get back Thought Monitor. How many Emerys are in their graveyard? 1, 2. Okay. I guess we also have to be worried about an Urza at this point. Because that is the Lord High Artificer. Yep. Make themselves a construct. It's a big old boy. They have 6 mana. 6 blue. What are we paying for? All right, we're shuffling. Hitting an Asmo. Okay. There you go, a searching. They choose not to. 6 damage to the crab. Yep. EE on 0. And blow up the world. Do this, get ourselves a swamp. And put Luris into hand. Pass the turn. Opponent's at 16 cards. We need to resolve Luris and play out a crab and hit them for 1 mil. Another Urza, sure. They have themselves a 5/5. They swing with a 1/4. Sounds good. Profane Memento, huh? We'll cast it. Luris. EE on 0. Sad that we can't blow it up this turn. But this means that they can't do their cookbook shenanigans. Yeah, I'll take 5. Sure, I'm going to gain life every time that you do that, bud. The damage is net 0 on that. We have realized the damage is net 0 on that. Here's a Saga. Yeah. Is this... Shuffle your library, exile the top card. Okay, so they're going to do... Asmo, return... Asmo's a May. So plays Asmo. Do they search? Chooses not to. Darn. And they're going to deal 3 damage to the Luris. Luris has lifelink, so we gain 6 off of that. And then they play out a Daredevil. Okay. So It's mill 13. We'll play out another Profane Memento and we'll pass the turn here. Makes it so that way if they try to grow their construct, it doesn't matter. And then we'll have blow it up and archive trap them. Turn the world sideways. Blow up the sideways world. We'll gain 2. We take 5. Go down to 15. Now they have 4 cards in hand and some mana. 3, 4, another Daredevil. Holding up potentially. Okay. Let's see if they want to try to make a token here. When they go for the token, we go for the kill. And they concede. All right. So as far as what they've got sideboard wise, it's like in a braid. That's it. Braids. Okay. No shuffle effect. Yeah. Okay. So I love the EE. I love the orbs. Cryptic Recursion is all right. Fractured Sanity is good. Is there anything that we want to bring in? No? Not really. Run it back. Reveal this glorious Luris. And this hand's good enough. We can turn 1 Profane Memento, turn 2 Hedron Crab. Mill them 3. Try to hit something for the surgical. Okay, they shocked it in. Interesting choice. Second crab. Doesn't change the play. We still go Profane Memento. Card's just too good in this matchup. Or they're not trying to win with an infect type kill. Blue to Delta. Okay. Crab. Land. Yield to the crab. Second crab. Triggered ability from Urza Saga. Yeah. Black EE on 1. Yeah, that's unfortunate. They shock that in, and then they blow up EE. I don't want you being able to recur that card. So their hand is push. It's Windows S. Apparently not Windows S. Snip tool. Bleh. Just to grab their hand there. Okay. So yeah, no EE. But no shuffle effect. So other than that, we're just looking at an Urza to beat. EE will go onto 1 and blow up the world. Sadness is placed on the stack. Delta, huh? That's fine. Grab. This and yield the crab. You fetch island. So they have a choice between Urza or push cookbook and have rebuke. We've got the drown, so we just hold and see what they do. Double saga. Bit unfortunate. One cookbook is played. Okay. Cookbook is played. And they're not doing anything else. Land. Ah, we're going to try to push now. So that's the push. So their hand is Rebuke, Urza, one unknown. So they can Rebuke if we try to drown this push. We just let that happen. Orb. Again, we know that they've got Rebuke. So they'll now have to put mana down if they want to be able to play this Urza. And then we've got the Drown because they've got more than enough cards. Interesting. They're going the route of a construct to still be able to hold up Rebuke. Man, I wish we had an Archive Trap. They got the Shadow Spear. That's unfortunate. Urza Saga number 3. Bobble. So their hand's Metallic Rebuke Urza. Land off the top here is what we want. Should have specified untapped land, shouldn't I? So do the Dark Slick. Pass the turn. They bobble us to see what we'll be drawing. Don't know why you wouldn't have done that in our upkeep. But hey. Draw main. We're going to float one. Makes sense because I get to do that. Oh. There's, go ahead and force them to have to Metallic Rebuke. That gets the Rebuke out of the hand. There we go. I have to hope that their last card isn't another Rebuke. And we mill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a Thought Monitor. Okay. And so we're down to 11. We can't just double orb. Archive Trap. Damn. Because this happens in main phase 1 after they've drawn. It's happened in upkeep. We have the win. Damn. So we can go Mesmeric Orb. Mesmeric Orb. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 plus 13. Nope, that's only 31. Okay. We didn't have it anyway. Yep. Upkeep, draw, main. They then do this. Please let them try to play a Thought Monitor. Main phase 1. They failed to find, but they play a Cookbook. They get an Oval Chase. Yep. They create a food. Yeah, they get to do this. So they're hitting for 18, 20, 21. Thought Monitor. Do it. Quit. Okay. Damn. Yep, we were hoping they were going to try to get greedy and Thought Monitor us there. If they go for that line, then they lose, but they didn't. 1 and 3. Close game. I mean, they've all been pretty close, except, yeah, all of them were, like, just slight misplays, which all are unfortunate. 1, 3. Thought Monitor against the mill deck, no shot. Hey, they did it last turn. Two surgicals, a drown, and a crab. Interesting enough. Let's try it. Well, I mean, we're already in the 1-3 bracket. It doesn't matter. Scalding Tarn. Fun. Polluted Delta's not bad there. This crab pass turn. They fetch. Do they have a bolt? Watery Grave. Fun. Just watch this be Urza deck number 2. There's a Street Wraith to cycle. Might be Grixis Shadow. No way. Yeah, this is Urza deck number 2. Unfortunate, y'all. Urza, Lord High Artificer, and an Oval Chase. This Watery Grave shocked in. Any card that we really don't like to see. Non-basic, so we can hit the Saga. So upkeep, draw step. Let's get rid of the Saga. None in their hand, and their hand is just Rebuke, Bobble, and Thought Monitor. Anyway, get rid of all those Sagas. And then they've got 2 Lord High Artificers in the deck. That's fine. Still your draw step opponent. Go ahead and surgical the Urza as well. And opponent says nope. Opponent doesn't want to have to win with a bunch of small creatures. Okay. So facing the Urza deck, we know we liked the cards that we brought in. Again, I just have such a hard time going against what I want to do. Shave those. Yeah. Against the Urza deck, just surgical all the cards that have Urza in their name. Who would have thought? It's almost like you do that against the other Urza deck too. So we have a surgical and a Field of Ruin. We have no mill effect early game. So we're going to mulligan. And this hand has way too many mill effects. So much so that we're actually bottoming a crab. Bossy, stop putting cards with Urza on it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Dark Slick, Shores, and 2-way cookbook. All right. Doing cookbook shenanigans. Right off the bat, we're doing cookbook shenanigans with the Daredevil. Impressive. Also, opponent boarded to 68. Worth noting. Apparently the deck really wants us to play some crabs. It's like, no. You bottom this card? No, it's on top as well. Crab. That's an Emery. They're going to mill some cards. And they're going to play a Polluted Delta. I'm going to get rid of that Daredevil. Get 2 Daredevils back. Poggers for them. Do it. Crack that delta. You know you want to. Keep we draw a land that lets us play crab number 3. Crab. Do it this way. Save targets. Always yield. Always yield. Well, there's the Emery. It's not a bad one to hit. Grab. Hey, fetch. Nice fetch, opponent. All right. No engineered explosives in the yard? No engineered explosives in the yard. Let's go. Yeah, you get to make your food. That thought monitor's probably coming in. Maybe not. So we get to mill 18 with this Field of Ruin. If we get to untap. I feel like milling 18 cards is probably good enough. Don't know for sure, though. Ideally, what? We hit push here, so that way we can push the Emery and Field. They go for the Thought Monitor. Sounds good. Draw yourself some cards, opponent. They have to discard. They discard that. Makes sense. We have to play the orb here, don't we? Like, we lose out on a Field of Ruin activation of 9. But I really think that's fine. Missing out on 9 to gain immediate 5, so it's only a loss of 4 initially. Okay, cycle Street Wraith. They discard to make a food token. They get their Daredevils back. And they play another Thought Monitor? That can't be right, opponent. Unless you're digging hard for EE. All right. Opponent concedes. We go 2-3. So overall, the more controlling mill list feels just fine. Not much I would change here. I definitely would just, like, I feel it's fine. Maybe the Set Adrift could be an Echoing Truth. We might try that just to see. One of Echoing Truth, one of Set Adrift. Echoing Truth, so that way you can bounce all those food tokens that's running around. But other than that, deck and sideboard feel just as strong as ever. So, see y'all in the next one.